Hello everybody, and welcome to a new video by me, Timus the Fox. So we have a lot to talk about today, more specifically regarding the convention Anthrocon 2024, because I attended that convention. Yeah, so it's going to be a big show today. I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. Wow. Anthrocon was pretty full. When looking back on it, I think it was just it's the biggest convention I've ever been in, to say the least. I don't think I've ever been in a convention filled with people more than in any furry convention than I know in my life. And we're going to talk about the long lines. We're going to talk about the degeneracy that occurred at the con. But we're also going to be talking about all the good stuff that happened at the con. Yeah. Okay, so, first thing. For those of you who don't know what Anthrocon is, and I know if you don't know what Anthrocon is, you've been living under a rock, sure, whatever. But Anthrocon is the premier furry convention in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the United States. And it is one of the oldest furry conventions in history, and it's still operating to this day. Now, as of late, Anthrocon has been competing in a sort of friendly competition with Midwest Fur Fest in Chicago for the most attendees. And Anthrocon just broke record. I think the last I checked was 17,530 something, if I'm not mistaken, with over 3,300 fursuits at the fursuit parade, which is absolute mad. I've never seen that many furries and fursuits in one place. And compare that with over 7,000 normal people watching you go through the parade in the summer heat. So we're going to talk about that today. And yeah, so but first we're going to talk about, let me see, okay, messing around with my overlays because I'm still getting used to everything again. Alright, that's my intro. Okay, 3, 1, 3, and 4. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the degeneracy, and that's a hotkey that just happened. Alright, so, wow. These were the lines. If you wanted to go to the convention, this is what you had to go through in order to enjoy the convention. This is not even the main line. This was literally not even halfway through to get into the con space. Absolute mad. Absolute mad. I'm not sure how anyone could stand in that. I spent 6 hours, not 6 hours, I'm exaggerating. Technically speaking, I waited 4 hours in line to get my badge because I did not pre-register and I was not a sponsor or a super sponsor. So it took 4 hours to get through that line in the summer heat and to get my badge. Now here's the thing. I started on 10th Avenue. For those of you who don't know, it's the street leading into the West End. And that's the street where you see all the restaurants and the nice places and whatnot to eat. So I started there, and it was just in the boiling hot summer sun that I waited 3 hours outside in the sun. The problem is, when you actually get inside the convention to get your badge, there's yet another line, another queue that you have to get to in order to get your badge. So you're waiting an extra 2 hours on top of what you waited 3 hours outside to get your badge. Okay, so that was such a big tear on me, and a lot of people were making fun of it, calling LineCon, and honestly I've never seen it this bad. And funny enough, I think this is very funny, but compare that waiting in line to get inside of an event to like a theme park where you have to wait in line to pick up your tickets and to get on a ride. And funny enough, the theme for Anthrocon 2024 was amusement park rides. So it's very crazy to me that they actually got the experience of a theme park spot on. So I'm happy for Anthrocon for doing that. That was amazing roleplay, everyone. Amazing roleplay. Yeah. Amazing roleplay. Now let me. This music is really getting to me. Let's turn that off for just a second, okay? Because there's a lot more stuff we gotta go over. Okay, so that was LineCon. Okay, so you understand the pain of some people. The thing is that some people actually passed out while they were queuing in line to get into the convention, and the fire marshal was called or whatever, and the fire marshal, it was a big mess. A big mess. I've never seen such. I've never seen a line such as this in my life to get into an event. That took that long. Maybe for a major concert for Elton John, or something like that, but never in this magnitude. Especially with fursuits in the summer, in the middle of summer. Anyway, a lot of the stuff that happened at the convention was also not good. Okay. A lot of it being the absolute degens that were at the convention. Now, I have nothing against degeneracy at a furry con, okay? There's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff, okay? They like to be out to enjoy themselves, and they're gonna do a lot of crazy stuff in order to have fun. That's just how it is. People get rowdy at a furry convention. At the end of the day, we're party animals. However, I have been to conventions for so long, but I have never been to a convention where there was so much degeneracy happening in those 4 days that I spent there, okay? And it kind of like, let me go over it. You'll understand what I mean in a second. So, literally on the first day, aside from the very long queues to get into the con to get your badge, we actually had a furry stab another furry.
This morning, police say a man who was in town for Anthrocon was attacked with a sword at Pittsburgh's Wyndham Grand Hotel. This all happened early yesterday morning. Police say the victim was staying in a room with 26-year-old Jake O'Leary and 2 other people when O'Leary allegedly got out of bed, grabbed the sword, and began swinging it. The victim suffered a severe laceration. Okay,
so I'm not going to get into that detail very much, but as you can see, literally the first day, and we're not even scratching the surface of what happened at the convention, because we're only going down the rabbit hole. So damn, okay. This is the waterfront. For those of you who don't know, the waterfront is one of those areas that you can go underneath the convention space to relax and enjoy the fresh air and wave at the boats that pass by and say, hey, we're furries and we love it. The problem is, a lot of people took this to heart. A lot more people than usual, because remember, we just broke record for the most attendees for any furry con in the world. 17,500 people. So what happens when you have 17,000 people crammed in one space, such as the waterfront? Well, you get something like this. And so you started having crazy events down at the waterfront, and people got a little rowdy, I say, very rowdy, and people were making duct tape dummies at the waterfront in the middle of the convention space. I have never seen that before in my life. You had the gnomes taking over Penn Avenue and the waterfront. They were everywhere. And you had this stuff. I don't know what that is. I assume that is toxic waste that is spilling over a street. I would not touch that in a million years. And I know some furries who actually got close to it, probably thinking that it would turn them into the actual personas, which listen, I really hope you never do that in your life. If you see green sludge on the floor, don't think this is like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just not gonna happen. Anyway, so we're back at that, right? More stuff. I mean, you think that this is it for that? No, it gets crazier and crazier. You also had Bon Voyage there, and so for those of you who don't know who Bon Voyage is, you are very, very lucky. But anyway, this was Bon Voyage at the waterfront during one of the days. yeah, so that's Bon Voyage. So now you know who he is. And you also had Homelander there. Homelander was at the convention from VOT. I know, VOT International. Now, I don't know about you, but having Homelander at my furry convention makes me very uneasy, knowing who Homelander is and what he's done. But Homelander was there, I guess, to support the furries and to increase his points or whatnot, I guess. I don't know. He probably took Ryan with him, for all I know. Anyway, here's Uncle Kage. You can clearly see the distress on his face. You can clearly see just how stressed this man is. He cannot take any more punishment from his convention. It's just, I feel so bad for Uncle Kage. I waved at him on the street while I was waiting in line on Thursday, and you could already tell that he was so, like, he couldn't take it. He was running back and forth to try to appease everything. Like, it was just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Anyway, so that's Uncle Kage. Next to, I actually don't know whose suitor that is. There were so many suitors, I couldn't recognize 90% of them. Mufasa died. Rest in peace, Mufasa. And what else? Oh yeah, this was me on Thursday and Friday. This is not really me, but this is my emotional state for the first 2 days at the convention. I feel so bad for this furry. My goodness. That was the state of the convention, and that was only the first day. The first and second days. So it was not good. And I was thinking to myself that Anthrocon 2024 was going to be Rainforest 2.0. For those of you who don't know what Rainforest is, it used to be a convention in Seattle that devolved into degeneracy, and it was shut down because of all the crazy stuff that happened at the convention. So literally Thursday and Friday, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is going to be the last Anthrocon, with the long lines, the fire marshal complaining, and all this crazy stuff happening. Anthrocon's finished. I didn't really 100% believe that, but I said there's going to be a chance that this con's going to be shut down if this continues. Thankfully enough, that did not happen. The con continued, so that's good. But yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, so much for that. Okay, so a lot of stuff that was only scratching the surface of what happened at the con. So I already listen. I'm actually going to talk about Thursday a little bit more. I'm going to talk about registration a little bit more because we need to talk about it. So Anthrocon has a huge issue on their hands regarding registration, okay? It's a huge elephant in the room. We cannot ignore that one bit, okay? The lines were horrendously long, and it didn't matter if you were pre-reg or regular attendee signing up for the day or the weekend. Getting into the con was absolute hell on earth. Okay, so the con needs to fix that, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but there's other conventions that have been able to improve the lines by having people wear wristbands like FWA, by having people mail in their badges, so they wear them to the con, and all they got to do is wear them at the con, and people know, stuff like that. And when you have a convention with 17,500 people, and that doesn't sound like a very large number, but when you have 3,000 fursuiters walking around bunched up together like a pack of sardines, there's going to be a problem, especially when you have a convention in the middle of summer where it's humid, okay? And there's a lot of crazy people out there, okay? Crazy people being, I don't know, people down Liberty Avenue in Pittsburgh. For those of you who do live in Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so gotta fix that, Anthrocon. I'm not sure how you're going to fix that, but I'm gonna be very honest with you. Until you fix it, I'm probably gonna go sponsor and super sponsor. That's probably what you want, honestly. You probably want more people to be sponsors, and I don't blame you, but I'm definitely not gonna pre-reg. I'm definitely gonna be a sponsor or a super sponsor next year, for sure. Anyway, playing the music again. Let's see. There we go, just have that music playing. I'm not sure if you can hear it yet, because remember, this is a relatively newer stream. It's not even a stream, it's a full-on video. So, anyway. Let's talk about Friday. Oh no, actually, let's not talk about Friday yet, because I didn't talk about the July crowds, the 4th of July. Okay, so really quick. When it was Thursday, it was also an American holiday. It was 4th of July, one of the biggest holidays of the year in the States. And because of that, you had people from all over the region coming to Pittsburgh to watch the fireworks. And it was also raining. So that didn't help at all with the whole, with everything that was happening at the convention. So anyway, Friday. Friday was a little bit better. Actually, it was a whole lot better compared to Thursday. But there were still some issues. Because I stayed at North Shore, which is obviously north of the convention. I stayed at the Hyatt place, so I had to take a shuttle anytime I wanted to go back to the hotel to desuit or to leave my dealer's den merch, whatever. So that was a huge issue. The shuttle service sucked, I'm not gonna lie. I hated it with every fiber of my being. I just absolutely hated it. I never want to stay at a hotel in North Shore again for Anthrocon. It's absolutely terrible. I'm gonna turn off the music actually, because I'm gonna be very honest. I'm not sure how the music. I'm gonna watch this video, rewatch it. Let me know what you think about music. Should I have music on? Should I not have music on? If I do have music on, is it loud and clear? Is it too loud? Can you not hear me? So I'm gonna need those questions at the end of the video to see, so I can try and make improvements. Because my webcam quality is actually better, because people told me, hey, your webcam quality is shit, and I had to change it. So it's changed. So I actually have better quality now. So thank you to the people who told me how to fix that. Anyway, Friday. Okay, so there was a Pirates game. And because there was a Pirates game, for those of you who don't know what the Pirates game is, it's the baseball team for the Pittsburgh Pirates, okay? There was a game going on, and oddly enough, it's in North Shore, which is also where my hotel is. The arena where the baseball games take place is actually at the same place where I have to take my shuttle. So you're waiting for your shuttle in the rain or in the sun, however it may be that day, and you got random people walking by, and they're giving you these odd looks, and I swear some people were like straight up harassing us at some points, and I felt very uncomfortable. Like just people just, I had somebody grab my tail, and it was just, I hated that. But yeah, once I got to the con on Friday, went straight to the dealer's den, and let me tell you something about the dealer's den, because I love the dealer's den. I think the dealer's den in any convention is a hallmark of a furry convention. You find a lot of great stuff to buy. It pleases different aspects of people and their interests, so it's very great. This year, okay, I think was the biggest dealer's den that we have ever had in history of any furry convention. I've never seen so many booths at a dealer's den like Anthrocon 2024. There were booths for like the big vendors, the large vendors, the medium-sized vendors, and the tiny minuscule vendors who were still good. They had great merch. I actually bought a badge off one of them. It was the I Survived LineCon badge, which I don't have on me right now, unfortunately. But yeah, that was one. What else? What else? What else? Well, I bought fursuit spray at Fursuit Supplies. They're always a great vendor to get fursuit supplies from. I usually get the lavender scent for my fursuit. Anyway, as the day goes on, I go to Uncle Kage's Story Hour, and it's great and all, don't get me wrong. Uncle Kage Story Hour, there's never anything wrong with it. Kage tells some of the best stories you'll ever hear about situations that he finds himself in. The problem is, this year, it wasn't in Hall C. Oh, sorry, I think it is Hall C, which is where the parade is usually queued and everything. Last year was in Hall C. This year, it was at the Allegheny Ballroom at the West End. And the problem is, when you have 17,500 people who want to see you, how are you going to fit everybody inside a tiny ballroom with Uncle Kage? It just doesn't work. But I did enjoy it. He told a funny story about what was it? Some old lady in Germany and trying to get through a plane with Roni. It was funny. I don't remember the exact story behind it, but everyone was laughing. So it's always a good time to go to Uncle Kage's Story Hour. After that, I ate at Bill's with some of my roommates. Bill's is the restaurant that's at the West End, which is the main hotel for the convention. And I always have the milkshake. Their cookies and cream milkshake is the best. That entire day, I cosplayed as a... Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I cosplayed as this person right here. This person is Ed. He's a character from a new furry game on Steam called Indigo Park. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I suggest you checking it out. It's a really great game. I enjoy it. It's free to play, so I would highly consider checking it out. But anyway, this is my cosplay of the character Ed. He doesn't actually have a physical form, so I just kind of took some artistic liberties. And yes, that is rambly on my phone. It was actually a GIF, so you could see him sort of like bouncing his head back and forth and all that. So that was pretty funny. But yeah. So what else? Man, there's so many stuff to cover. I mean, jeez. I met a few people who recognized me, and that's always great. It's always great to see people who come up and say, "Hey, I know you from like TikTok or Instagram. Can I take a picture with you?" Or you know, it's really great, and I always enjoy those moments. I went to the Friday dances, and I enjoyed myself. Obviously, nothing wrong with the Friday dances. Oh yeah, the waterfront rave. The waterfront rave was absolutely unregulated, I will say. It was unregulated. A lot of degeneracy happened at that. So a lot of degeneracy. But it was a neat rave. It obviously happens after or during and after the rave at the convention. Like I said, it's unregulated, so DLCC, David Lawrence Convention Center, has no, like, they don't control what happens at the rave. Somebody just literally set up a DJ and started playing music there, and it was fun. I mean, there was a lot of people there. It was out of control. The generator eventually ran out of gas, and they had to get it fixed. So that was a funny thing. The lights went out. Everyone was like, "Come on, what's going on? Turn it on, you bloke. What are you doing? Yeah, and then I went back to my apartment not my apartment. I went back to the hotel room at North Shore. At 2 a.m. I had to fall asleep. And you see, I can't stay longer because the shuttles don't run as late as you think. The last shuttle that was going to leave was at 2 a.m. So I had to be on the bloody shuttle before it left, or I'd be stranded, and I'd have to take an Uber or something to get home. So that sucked. So anyway, Saturday. So Saturday was kind of like one of the best days of my experience at Anthrocon 2024. It was a nice sunny day. I mean, Friday was also sunny, but it wasn't as sunny. Saturday was kind of like the beginning of like the not so humid portion of the convention, okay? And I started the morning eating breakfast, went on the shuttle, They came every 45 minutes, so that was a pain waiting for the shuttle in the heat. But I dressed up in my Ed cosplay that I showed you. I went to a Rail Furs meeting on the rooftop of the convention center. Met up with some furries. They recognized Rambly get up. I figured, well, if Rambly likes railroads, then it would make sense to take my cosplay to a Rail Furs meetup. So I did. So there was a train that passed by the bridge. Everyone took photos. It was nice. I liked that experience a lot. It was pretty funny. Well, not funny. It was fun. It was also funny, I guess. But anyway, I went back to the hotel on 12 noon to get in my suit for the parade, because listen, if there's one thing that I'm not gonna miss, it's the fursuit parade. For me, the fursuit parade is the staple of the furry convention. It is the climax. It is when the lights are on and the whole city gets to meet us and see us. It's kind of like that parade that you see in Hunger Games, where like all the capital citizens are like waving at you, and you're like, oh my god, people are looking at me, people are watching me. I can't believe I made that like but you understand what I mean, right? When you got 7,000 people from the city coming to watch you, it does feel quite strange. The problem was that because it's 17,500 people at the convention, getting in line to get out and be in the parade took a very long time. I got to the DLCC Hall C around 1:20 p.m. That was just before they closed the doors, the bloody doors, okay? So I was one of the last people to get in and queue in line for the parade. So we waited, and we waited. And then finally, when the parade actually started going, unfortunately, someone had the bright idea to break the escalator. Now, they warn you numerous times, do not put both hands on the railing and thrust yourself off the escalator, otherwise it will break it. Well, the thing about furries, if you tell them something 20 times, some of them are not going to listen. So someone ended up breaking the escalator. I'm not sure who, I'm not going to put them on blast, but I'm just saying that somebody broke the bloody escalator. So now everything's delayed. So instead of waiting 2 hours for the parade, I'm waiting 3 hours in a room to get out on the bloody street. So that was not fun. That was not fun. This con was all about waiting in line. But there's a reason why they called it LineCon. You had to wait 4 hours to get your badge. You had to wait 2 hours to get in the bloody dealer's den on Friday. Then you had to wait to get into a parade at the frickin' fursuit parade. That's ridiculous. Anyway, so I go out there in the parade, and here's the thing. Before I did, I was very close to not leaving. There was a part of me that said, I just can't take this anymore. I just can't. I cannot wait much longer because the line doesn't look like it's moving. So I did two things. One, I decided to go out the door and to see if the line was moving. And two, I seriously considered leaving the queue for the parade. I did not, and there's a reason why. Waiting for so long in that room, you just get this sense of like, remember why you're here. Remember why you've been waiting so long. If you leave now, you just wasted 3 hours of your life because you couldn't wait another hour or two to get to the parade. And it sucks, but it's gonna be worth it in the end, right? So I managed to convince myself not to leave. I convinced myself to stay. And there was actually a person who kept coming up to me. I said, do you have anything to drink, anything to eat? He said, I have this protein bar. So I gave him $5 because he said, "You want my protein bar?" I said, "Well, I'm not going to take it, and I'll give you anything in return." So I gave him $5 to compensate him. I was impartial, by the way. So I gave it to him, and we went away. I went back inside. I ate the protein bar, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to make it my mission to stay in this bloody room, and walk out that furry convention. Walk out the furry convention onto the street. And if it takes all day, all night, I don't care. I'm going to do it, because it's going to be worth it." And it was worth it. Because once I walked out, and I finally started walking down the aisle, started going down the escalator that was now working again, and went out into the street to be greeted by 7,000 people of the city of Pittsburgh, it was worth it in the end. Completely worth it. There's no amount to describe just how amazing. Like, you have this sense of euphoria when you go there and you actually see all these people waving at you, and you're waving at them back, and you're wearing your rainbow cape, your pride cape, and you're like, this city welcomes me. This city is proud to host furries. And you're in the middle of a parade being greeted by them. You feel this sense of joy. And I can't explain it. And I said, waiting 3 hours to be in a parade is totally worth it. It justifies the means, in my opinion, waiting that long to get into the parade. Because a quarter of the people that were in that line left. They didn't want to stay there and wait, especially after somebody said the escalator was broken. So, yeah. But that was very interesting. I missed a lot of panels, unfortunately, because of the wait. So I did go to a Fox meet and greet. That was another highlight of Saturday. So I went into the same room, literally the same room, around 7 o'clock. And I met a lot of the Fox furs, and we took a whole picture together, met up with my roommates, decided to go back to the hotel with them, and we ate at Burgatory, and we had dinner that night. I had a margarita. It was fun. It was fun. I think the VR meetup happened in the same room too. I also went to the fur block that same day. I forgot to say. So I was in the fur block. So yeah, it was fun. The fur block is always fun. Getting to mingle with the locals and getting to share your life with them is always good. I was thinking about that song by Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville. I stayed away again in Margaritaville, sipping on that little shaker and shaw. Do we have any margarita fans? I wonder if people love margaritas as much as I do. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I went back to the rave in partial. Now, mind you, I did full suit. At some point, I don't remember when I full suit. I think I full suited later that night. Actually, it was later that night. It wasn't impartial. It was actually I full suited Saturday night to the rave. So that was very neat. Last day, yeah. So Sunday. Sundays are always bittersweet, as you know. Sundays are just the long goodbye, I call it. I call Sundays at furry cons the long goodbye, because it's gonna end when the day ends, and so you're kind of like, I really want to get stuff done before it's over, and I want to meet everyone that I want to meet. I want to go to all the panels I want to see, and I want to go to the dealers den one last time to get all my last purchases in. I don't want to go back to my stupid 9-to-5 human life, but unfortunately it's gonna come. So Sundays were bittersweet at best, I should say. But starting the day, I actually slept in, so I woke up around 1 p.m. on Sunday. But I went to the dealer's den and I bought some last minute things, such as, I can actually show you right now what I got. Right here. So this is one of the things I got from the dealer's den. One of my favorite things. I'm not sure where to put it yet, but this is another thing. Pride pop pin. Did not mean to do that. I got this. Hold on. This is a Bluey stand that I got from one of the vendors. It was kind of like a it was like a ball game. If you paid $15 US, a ball will come out, and whatever color it is corresponds to what you win. So I won a silver ball, so this is the stand that I got with it. But you can also buy this separately for like $35 or however much it was. I don't remember quite. I played it a few more times, actually 3 more times. I got Mackenzie, who's to the right, and Jack, who's to the left. So those are 2 keychains. So it's 2 keychains and 1 stand. So I decided to put it, let me see if I, it's like they're actually over there. So that's where the stand is. So that's where I put them. And for the mess that you see behind me, I'm cleaning all my fursuits right now, all my articles of suiting, I should say. So, yes. Anyway, what else did I do? I did some last-minute recordings for my TikTok video. That's another one. I think I can actually show that right now. Let me see. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a copyright strike for this. Sorry. It's a little bit loud on my end. And there was also this one. And again, you can watch all this on my official TikTok, Timus the Fox. So if you want to give me a follow, it's right there. So yeah. Oh man. Anyway, let's get back to topics, to the topic in hand. So I went back to the hotel because I decided to go full suit one last time. You know, it's the last day of the convention, so you have to do that. You have to suit one last time, or otherwise, what kind of furry are you, honestly? What kind of furry are you that you do not fursuit on your last day at the furry convention, right? so I did that. I went in my full suit, so my entire bodysuit. Okay, it was just like full of getup in furriness. Anyway, so I went to the waterfront. I took photos. There's actually some photos I have here right now. If I can show them. Why does this happen? Why must you torment me? This is my TikTok. Okay, here we go. Where are you? Sunday. Okay. Oh, this is Saturday. Sunday. Okay. So this is Sunday. Went full suiting. I met Fender, obviously, for Affinity mascot. That's Figo. He's a TF enthusiast, just like me. You've got Blaze here. He's a Pittsburgh local. And this is the first suit dealer's den where I was at. The earlier video that you saw on TikTok. This is me having seen Bluey and Bingo. And this was me at the waterfront, what I was talking about. So this was me on Sunday. So not as many people as there were on Friday and Saturday. So yeah, that was nice. Met Codiel, I think that they're an artist. This is a new suitor. This is actually Samuel Access. You probably see them on TikTok, but yeah, ran into them. Anyway, so Sunday was very bittersweet, and of course, what Sunday without going to the rave one last time before you have to pack your bags, go home, and live your boring old human life, you know, whatever. So went to the rave one last time in full suit. That's the TikTok video you watched of me dancing in the rave in full suit. That was me on Sunday night. After that, I went back home. Well, I went back to the hotel first, before I went back home. But I decided to make sure I had everything. I said goodbye to my roommates, and the reason why I did that on Sunday night is because I live 20 minutes away from the convention. And you're probably thinking, well, why in bloody hell did you get a hotel room if you live 20 minutes away? One, I don't drive, and two, transit in Pittsburgh is horrendous. So that's why. And what do you think? I'm gonna full suit in my apartment, take it there, come back here, take it off, go back to the car? Like, that would be ridiculous. That would take hours in between. So it's ridiculous. I don't know who would do that. Okay, so one last thing. This is the convention. I don't know if you can see it. This is the official con book for Anthrocon 2024. So yeah, it's very nice. Theme park theme. What else do we have? Yeah, that was just that was the convention. That was Anthrocon for me. A very interesting experience. Like I said, Thursday was absolutely horrendous. It's actually, I will never forget just how degenerate that day was for me and for a lot of people. Friday was a lot better. But Saturday and Sunday, especially Sunday of Anthrocon, was one of the best days I've ever spent at a convention, and I wholeheartedly say that. I had so much fun. When I came back to my apartment that night, I actually broke down because I was like, oh my goodness, you know, the fact that like I have to go back to living life how I usually do, it kind of inspired me to start making videos again. So yeah, so now I'm back on YouTube. So yeah, so Anthrocon was great. All right, one more thing before I go, because I need to close this up. Someone gave me a plush as a gift, and I want to introduce them to you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you this little fella. Look at him. Isn't he adorable? Look at that little tail behind him, and he's got spots on him, so I'm going to assume that he is half fox, half tiger, and we're just gonna go with that. But he's still half fox, so he's still half me. Yay! Anyway, I'm trying to figure out a name for him. Now, I was thinking we could call him Tim Tam. I don't know where I got that name from. I actually do. A friend of mine suggested it to me. But if you want me to call them Tim Tam, let me know, because that's how I will start referring them as. Or if you can think of a better name, please leave a comment and let me know what name you think I should call this adorable little fox tiger. Foxger? Is that how you refer them? Foxger? Fox tiger? Foxger? I'm not sure. I'm very tired. I've been wearing this for 44 minutes, so I think I'm going to wrap up this video. Very long video, very long show. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see all of you next time. And remember, this might be the format for future videos. If you like how I'm filming these videos, please let me know, and I will keep doing them. If you don't like these formats, well, we can go back to this. Or we can keep it like this. I honestly think this is better because you get to see more of me, and I'm in HD. So, yeah, anyway. I hope you all have a fantastic night, and I will see you all again in the next video. Bye!